I see the board for changing coming up. I see my number again. I said, there's no way I'm coming off the field. It came on literally 10 minutes ago. I was
Not
like,
even 10 minutes.
maybe there's a mistake, so I'm a bit confused right now. Points at me. I said, oh my God, I'm coming off the field 10 minutes after I came on. I remember my first few games, you're like, oh my God, there's a lot of people here. You said in that moment, you go crazy. You're just so excited. My whole life, I was waiting for this moment, and you finally get it. See a guy like Wanyama, if this guy's still doing it, I definitely got to do it. And I think that's important to show appreciation to the fans. Whether we win or lose, it's been such a long time where we're waiting for a team here in Quebec to now not only have CF Montreal, but to have Supra.
We have pro footballer Sean Rea. This guy is a native of Laval. He is an attack-minded, creative player who spent 2 seasons on loan with the Valor FC, enjoying a breakthrough in 2022 campaign that earned him the prestigious CPL U21 Canadian Player of the Year award. In 2023, he returned to the CF Montreal and made his MLS debut for the club he grew up supporting. He is joining us in studio. He's got a lot to talk to us about the beautiful world of football, what's happening here with the FC Super, what's coming down in the Canadian Premier League that is launching in April, but also just his thoughts on football. Welcome back to TSN 690 iHeartRadio. This is the first half. I'm Paul Desbaillet, and in studio with us, as I said after the commercial break, is Sean Rea. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on. The world of football is, jibber-jabbering. Everybody saw what happened in November with what was going on with the end of the league with the CPL and all that attention it got. Again, it was snowing and with Ottawa. But because of that, I think there's a very exciting buzz around the league and where it's coming, because it's important with the league being around that it's a young league. How have people that in your life reacted to the fact that this is coming in just a couple of months here in Quebec, and that you and David and some other guys are part of this sort of founding level of what's here to come?
Yeah, everybody's been super excited, all right? It's been such a long time where we're waiting for a team here in Quebec.
Yeah.
I remember back when I joined in 2021 with Valor, we were talking about it then. How could it be there's no team in Quebec? So now that we're finally getting one, it's giving the opportunity for people to come back home and for a new avenue for young players to now not only have CF Montreal, but to have Supra. And I think it's amazing for the league that it's growing and giving the opportunity to young players.
Cool. It's been good, man. It's been fun to watch sort of that progression from when things were launched in September to here, and then now what's about to happen in just 2 months, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be quick.
Let us know a little bit about how you got into football in the first place. Where did the love of the game come from?
So I started really young. I was maybe 3-4 years old. And ever since then, I had a ball on my feet, kicking the ball around the house, in the backyard, shooting against the fence. The fence still has dents till this day that I've been shooting for so long. And I joined Étoile de l'Est back then, who I think is now AS Laval.
Cool.
And then 5 years in the academy, and then finally signed in 2020. Jason DiTullio was actually my coach.
Oh, wow.
Right before I signed, yeah.
Wow.
And then getting that call and saying, you're going to sign for the first team, it's unbelievable, because that was a dream growing up, signing for your boyhood club.
Was your dad, your mom, were they into football as well? Like, where did that,
Well, my mom's family are big soccer fans, I think.
Oh, yeah?
My grandfather was a coach. They all played soccer.
Where?
Just for the local clubs.
Okay,
but
they were all it was in the blood.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They love soccer. My 3 uncles, my mother.
Amazing.
So soccer was a big thing. We're big fans of Napoli and Serie A. So
wow.
So soccer's been around.
Luca just did a little twitch. He's like, no, Napoli. Yeah. You were sure you wanted to play football. There was nothing else.
Oh, yeah, there was.
What told you? And I'm always curious about this. What told you? I'm sure one of the parents. Somebody said, "Hey, what about this? What about that?" And you were like, "No."
There was nobody that pushed me or anything. It was within me. I knew from a young age, I'm like, I'm going to be a professional soccer player, and that's it. Cool. There was no other option in my head.
And how was that? Do you think it was easier for you being, home with that home environment versus some of the kids that had to sort of come from out of town?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps, especially at a young age. When you're 13, 14, going away from home
young,
and
man.
living with our family is really difficult. And one of my close friends, who was from Nova Scotia at the time, came to Montreal, and he was with a foster family, and he was 14 years old, and I could see how difficult it was for him. And he would change foster families because it wasn't easy, right? And I had the opportunity, obviously, to be at home, which helped me a lot. And then I did when I ended up signing, I did go on loan in Winnipeg and learned how to live on my own. But later on, I think I was maybe 19. So I think at that age, it makes more sense to go away from home, learn how to live on your own. But at 14, I find that's really young.
Question for you. We're going to bounce back and forth a little bit. But World Cup's coming around. Are you excited about this? Do you think that's going to have a major impact? I know there's no World Cup games here in Montreal. We're fine. We're clear, yeah. Unfortunately.
It's the biggest sporting event in the world, in my opinion. It's something that gets people excited. It's amazing for even the league. You know, people are going to want to watch Canadian soccer.
Yeah.
So I think it's unbelievable. And there may be a chance that Canada plays Italy in Toronto.
Yeah, you look at that smile.
Yeah, I
so
think that's pretty cool.
I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So which team are you going to be supporting?
Canada for sure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
I thought you were an Azzurri fan.
I am, but I'm from Canada. I'm a Canadian before I'm an Italian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luca, again, twitching over there in the chair.
Yeah, no.
That's amazing.
I think Canada's the only right answer.
Out of curiosity, who do you think is going to win the World Cup? And you just give your real opinion. Don't do the, I'm Canadian, it's got to be Canada. No, because it can't. No, because it can't be. Like,
I would say.
Oh, sorry. It obviously can be.
No, it can be, but I understand. Yeah, I would go maybe Spain.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one this year.
So look, as a pro footballer, I wanted to ask you. We'll start with negative, and then we go to positive, because even in negative situations, there's always positive outcomes. Do you remember a time? Is there a negative moment in your footballing career so far that had an impact, and sort of how did you get through that one?
Yeah, I could think of one. There was in 2023, there was an interesting situation where we were playing Miami at home. We were up 1-0.
Okay.
The coach calls on me and he says, I'm going to put you in. It's about the 80th minute, I would say. So I'm hyped, I'm ready. I'm ready to defend. It's 1-0. Yeah. I'm ready to do my job, hopefully get in another one and close the game out. So cool. I sub in. We're defending. They're trying to score. Like, you could tell we were defending.
Yeah.
And 91st minute comes around. It's like we're right there. I see the board for changing coming up. I see my number again. I said, "There's no way I'm coming off the field." Right now.
You just put me on.
I came on literally 10 minutes ago. I was
not even 10 minutes.
Maybe there's a mistake, so I'm a bit confused right now. So I look at the coach, and he points at me. I said, "Oh my God, I'm coming off the field 10 minutes after I came on." So yeah, that was a moment where I was like, "This has never happened to me. I hope it never happens ever again." Because it's not something that happens every day in soccer. So yeah, that
with that
was a
short amount of How do you mentally work on that later so that it doesn't affect further football?
At the end of the day, the coach makes the decision.
Sure,
yeah, like he could do what he wants. It's just. Right. For me, in that moment as a young player, I was like, wow, anything can happen. So I thought that was a crazy experience. It's not funny to speak about it.
Later
on, right?
Well, it's like anybody who has a bad experience somewhere. It's sort of not so good right away.
And then
you
laugh about it later
you
on.
laugh.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of them.
Was there tools in place for you to get those questions and thoughts out to, like, man, how do I handle this? Because literally the next day you got to go to training, or, you rest a bit and then you're back at training the next day. To work through that, or if there wasn't then, are those sorts of things in place now for young footballers?
I think it's something that you got to learn how to deal with on your own, and I think that's the best way to deal with it. There's bad moments that happen in everything.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
There's not always someone that's going to come and help you or guide you. So when you go through these difficult moments and you're able to overcome them on your own, I think that builds personality and you grow and you're able to take on challenges down the line. So I was happy I was able to deal with it on my own, and I didn't have nobody to help me. Obviously, you have your friends, your family, but there's certain things that you take on your own, and you move forward with it. Yeah,
that's very interesting. Now, what's more important, there must be a positive, again, this is so far, a positive moment in your footballing career that just stands out for you, like, man, I really love, this was
for
great.
sure there's a few of them. I'd probably say, obviously, signing my first professional contract for Montreal was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And to follow that would be to score my first goal for them. It was in a Canadian Championship game. Friends, family, girlfriend, everybody's in the stands.
So cool.
And it was off a corner. The ball falls in my feet. I take a touch, left foot, good finish.
That's amazing.
And it's just like, it's a moment where you're like, my whole life I was waiting for this moment, and you finally get it. So that was cool.
Do you live in that do you actually get, so here's a question. I'd like to, sorry to stop you and then we'll go to the next one. But do you actually get to enjoy it, or do you not realize because you're so locked in, and it's not till later that someone's showing you tape or you've seen a picture, you're like, oh my gosh, that's right, I did that.
You nailed it. You like in the moment, you can't believe it, and then you go into this. I don't know how to explain it. It's just you don't even know what's going on until later on. When you say, I actually scored. And then the adrenaline calms down and you actually realize what happened. But it's like you said, in that moment, you go crazy. You're just so excited. People are jumping on you, and yeah, it was a crazy.
That's
experience.
cool because there's a lot of guys that we've spoken to that say when they're coming out of the tunnel or they're coming into a big game. One of the guys was mentioning like when they're in Mexico or whatever, they're so locked in, they don't realize.
Oh yeah.
The game, they don't realize the grandeur. They're 100%. Just, it's not till later. Huh?
There's games where there's like 30,000 people in the stands and you're playing and people ask you like, do you know there's people? And it's like, no, you don't realize it because you're so locked in on what you're doing in that moment.
And position, like doing what you're supposed to do
exactly.
is your job, right?
Because it is your job and you're just locked in. And then at the end, when you look at it, you say, oh my God, there were so many people. It's like when you're looking from an outside perspective, it's easy to notice all the other things. But when you're in it, it's like completely different. It's something you got to learn with time. I remember my first few games, you're like, oh my God, there's a lot of people here. But then like as you go and you're playing, you're doing well, you kind of block that stuff out. Yeah. So I think it's with time you just become accustomed to it and that becomes your new normal and you learn how to deal with it. Cool.
Is there and there was another one you were going to say there was a few other than that.
Oh, even I would say also when I was on loan in Winnipeg, I had a breakout year where I was able to win under 21 player of the year.
That's massive. I remember.
For me, like that was a big accomplishment, and I'm still super proud of that. I think that was cool going away from home and being able to perform and getting an accomplishment for those weeks of good performances. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you have to perform at a level for quite a long
consistently.
Well, but that's it. That's not easy. Not in sports,
especially
either.
When you're young. It's so difficult. You're dealing with a lot of things. So being able to perform over 28 games and
that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. And when you look back, it's like, oh wow, that was pretty good.
When you were in Winnipeg and you hit that achievement, was that your aha moment? Like, okay, if I do it like this, this is where I'm going.
Yeah, 100%. And at the end of the day, it's like you learn to do it on your own because if you don't, you're gonna pay the price.
And the price is being let go,
or just not playing. So you realize pretty quickly that if you don't do things properly, you're just not gonna play, because at the end of the day it's professional sports and everybody wants to win, coaches, players, and if you're not able to get that job done, somebody else will. So you could not go in the gym, you could not train hard, but you're not gonna play. So when you're young, you don't know these things, and then when you join into the pro world and you start to see how professionals who have been there for, let's say, 15 years operate, and you say, oh wow, this guy, he's here because he's been doing this for so long, and you look up to people like that. So
is that key? That's very interesting. Is that key to a successful football club, to have a couple of statesmen, elder sort of statement, a little bit dramatic, but just older players, vets that have done a little more time, so they can instill that work ethic downwards?
I think it's important because as a young player, I remember when my first few trainings, I see a guy like Wanyama doing things properly, being in the gym, and it's like, if this guy's still doing it, I definitely got to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it is important, because if you're just all young and there's nobody to look up to, it could be a bit, everybody's doing their own thing and there's no structure, and sort of, right? So I think it is important to always have a few guys to lay the foundation for the younger ones.
I wanted to ask you, first of all, that was great, all the stuff that you've said just before the commercial break. I wanted to ask you a little bit about supporters and how important they are to football teams and football clubs, and you've experienced them on all kinds of levels, and you've seen them in Europe, and you've seen them around, and so my question is, what are some of the things that a supporter can do for a football club through good and bad times?
I think supporters can make a team win a game, right? When there's such passionate fans that that's why it's so important when you have a home game. You feel that you're at home, and other teams feel that they're away too. So I find it really important to have a strong fan base, people that show up and they're fighting for the team as much as you are on the field. Win or lose, we would go around the field and thank all our supporters. And I think that's important to show appreciation to the fans, whether we win or lose. Yeah. You guys came out, spent your money to come watch us. We're going to appreciate everybody. And
then the last thing before we get into 12 questions, community. What is the importance for you to be involved in that at whatever level, to show that you're part of the the wider scope.
I think that's important too because you're inspiring the young players. Like I remember when I was young, I would go to these community events, and I remember Patrice Bernier being there, and he would sign my Impact flag at the time, and that really stays with you for a long time. And if I could be somebody for a kid out there and just inspire them, that's what we do it for. So I think it's super important. And you bring people together, you make people want to come watch you on the weekend.
Yeah.
And especially Montreal, that we have such a strong community, and people want to come watch soccer. They want to come watch local talent. I think it's very important.
Amazing. That's a great answer. It's true. It really does stick with you.
Oh, yeah.
What do you hope fans get from this first season for the FC Supra?
I think excitement, joy. You know, at the end of the day, we're entertainers. We were supposed to put on a show on the field, and we play soccer, and we hope that they leave there saying, I want to come back next weekend.
Love it.
And they enjoy it.
Love it, man. That's amazing. I'm excited. Hey, you got a voice
bad,
too.
yeah.
Not bad. It's not bad. Okay, here we go. 12 questions, Sean, right here on the first half. Ready to go?
Let's do it.
Number 1, what is your favorite film?
Goodfellas.
Nice. Number 2, what is your favorite song or band?
I'd say right now, D Block Europe.
Love it. Number 3, look, you're rolling, man. You're just so smooth. Number 3, favorite sports team?
Napoli.
Number 4, favorite athlete, dead or alive?
Lionel Messi.
What was the problem here, dude? You're flying through these questions. Number 5, what is your favorite food?
A steak.
Number 6, what is your favorite drink, alcoholic and or non-alcoholic?
Let's say a rum and coke.
And non-alcoholic?
A coke.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Good choice. Number 7, what would be one thing you would buy if you won the lottery?
A crazy car.
Cool. Number 8, dream trip.
The Maldives.
Number 9, how do you deal with stress?
That's a good one. Deep breaths.
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Very cool. For a little first half after dark, pajamas or no pajamas, Mr. Shawnee?
No pajamas.
Ow! No pajamas. Number 11, what is your favorite fashion brand at the moment?
Fashion brand. Louis Vuitton.
Number 12, name one thing you could not live without.
Yeah, my phone.
You're amazing. And number 12.1, we like to slip it in. Football is, so I need one word from you. So football is?
Life.
Amazing. Beautiful. Dude, that was 12 You were like, dude, you were perfect.
Thank
That was
you.
a perfect run. No stalling. I love it. Thank you so much, Sean, for joining us in studio and doing 12 questions with us here on the first half. And we wish you so much luck in 2 months when the season kicks off in the Canadian Premier League.
Thank you very much.